Joining me today are two friends who are also some football enthusiasts. You could say they like football. You could say they know football.
Could say that.
Luke Campbell from Huntington Beach, California, who's been doing some work for some of our film analysis for the past few months. So thank you for joining us.
Of course.
And my other friend, Noah Abdel-Malik, who is my Madden buddy, dude.
Yes, sir.
Been going through some Madden BS together lately with our franchises, and he's also a big follower of the sport. Played with him in high school. So we're going to do this mock. It's going to be a what would you do mock, not what we think will happen, but we're all going to go in rotating order, basically making picks for the teams that we would make if we were the GMs. So start off with pick one. No surprises here. We're going to go Joe Burrow from LSU. And I know it's a one-hit wonder, or is it not really a one-hit wonder? But 1 year of production, but the sample size in that 1 year for LSU, 60 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He had no real bad tape that I found in 2019 on over 600 passing attempts in the SEC. So I know he had talent. I know all these things. But, I mean, from the head up, I think that he's everything that you thought Baker Mayfield was if you like Baker Mayfield. Like, that's who Joe Burrow is. And I think he's a Pro Bowl level player at the next level if the Bengals don't screw him up.
All right, so 2. It's another simple pick. It's going to be Chase Young from Ohio State. I put it simply, he's better than both Bosa brothers, better than Myles Garrett. I think he's the best edge defender we've seen in a while, and he's probably first-team All-Pro at some point in his career.
Man, 6'5", 7.8% body fat. Dude's actually a freak. So
265 pounds.
I would rank him above both. I didn't do Joey, but I would rank him above Nick.
Yeah, I think Nick's a little better than Joey. So
yeah, I better than Joey as well.
And then hopefully doesn't Myles Garrett bash somebody's skull in with a helmet.
Yeah, seriously.
Preferably.
I mean, Garrett's like freakier, but I think Young's better.
He's better. He's more technically sound than Garrett. His hands a little bit better.
Garrett's like a rare physical guy, but like Garrett had more to learn. I don't think I think Young is further along in the development curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we got the Detroit Lions at number 3. We're gonna leave all that in.
So this is where it really starts. I'm gonna go Okudah, just because it's they need a corner. They just traded Slay. They need a number 1 guy. I don't think Trufont's the answer. He's really sticky and man and press, and you really can't go wrong with him. So I think that's a safe pick there. They don't screw it up. They make Lions fans real happy. I would be very happy to have Okudah on my team. So I'm gonna pick him there at 3.
For what it's worth, I thought he was the best tackling corner that I watched.
Yeah, definitely. No, he makes tackles that you don't even expect. Like, he's out of the play, and he hits he's coming for a guy's feet that you never even expect. So
okay, pick 4. We're going the New York Giants. They need some offensive tackle help. Mike Remmers has not been doing the job over there. Hasn't really been the same ever since Von Miller torched him in the Super Bowl game. But
sleep on Nate Solder.
Nate Solder on the left side, baby. Gotta have one good tackle. So we're going Jedrick Wills here. I really like his feed, his technique. He's kind of a blend of a lot of the tackles for me, and I feel pretty comfortable with Wills. Love his hands. I love that he's always on balance, and I think he's pretty athletic as well. He's about 312 combine weight, 315 play weight, 34.5-inch vertical at the combine. So you like some of those explosive testing. I think a lot of these tackles are good, but Jedrick Wills is my pick of the litter.
So at 5, seen a lot of smoke screens about the Dolphins liking Herbert, but considering how this is what we would do draft, I'm going to go with Tua here. I think they intended on going Tua to begin with when they had the whole tank for Tua thing going on. You need a quarterback. If you have a guy like Tua you think is your guy, you pick him early. And you don't look back. They also have 18 and 26 later on to fill some more holes. So I think you start a quarterback, the most important position, then you build around that.
I'd do the exact same thing if I was at 5. I know that is it risky? Yeah, but there's risk at every pick.
And the last time they picked the healthy quarterback over the injury prone one, the injury prone one was Drew Brees. So I don't think you make that mistake twice. You go Tua here.
Yeah, especially with this comp being Drew Brees.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what we would do, I'm not taking Herbert because I don't like him. I think I'm going to go tackle. I'm going to go Andrew Thomas here because I love him. I love him in the run game. They really need help. God, they need help. And they're going to miss out on Tua. And they're going to have Tyrod Taylor running around next year. So they're going to need help with hopefully they're going to be running more RPOs and stuff like that. And I think if they got help in the run game with their offensive line, I think Eckler really could be a force to be reckoned with next year. So I'll go Andrew Thomas at 6.
Yeah, and you can play him on that left side, and you're getting Try Turner now. I'm not sure if you want to play him at left guard or right guard, but if he's on that left side, that's a pretty good left side of the line for whoever's back.
Yeah, I think Wills and Thomas are the most technically sound tackles in this draft for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Thomas played on the left side of Georgia, so
yeah, exactly. Both SEC battle tested, so you can't go wrong with that.
All right, so we got pick 7 now. I got to go Isaiah Simmons because I think there's a lot of issues with this Panthers team. But I think with Simmons specifically, he's going to be able to do a little bit of everything. And I think that you can play him as like a will. You got Shaq Thompson back there as well. You need a Luke Kuechly replacement, and Isaiah Simmons isn't necessarily going to replace Luke Kuechly from the mental side of it, but he processes really well. And he's an absolutely phenomenal athlete who is kind of like this like move chess piece. I think he's going to be exceptional at playing tight ends. I think I like him in a 2 high role as a safety as well. So you need a plan if you draft Isaiah Simmons, but in terms of an overall talent, I see a little bit of Brian Urlacher from back in the day. That's who I see.
Yeah. Especially now you need someone to cover Gronk in that division. All right, Arizona. So originally, I think I would have gone with a CeeDee Lamb here, but since they got DeAndre Hopkins, absolutely hosed the Texans with that one. I'm gonna go with Tristan. Wirfs, not Tristan Wirfs. Yeah, Tristan Wirfs. He's still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Tristan Wirfs. Honestly, I'm surprised he slid that far. I didn't think Jedrick would go that high. But yeah, we're gonna go with Tristan Wirfs. I like the versatility of being able to slide him inside too if you need to until he develops into tackle. I think he'll do really well on that line, just like protecting Kyler Murray. He moves well too, which works for Cliff Kingsbury's scheme in the screen game mostly. So I think it's a good pick here.
All right, so Jacksonville at 9. I think in the draft they would probably go Henderson here since he's here, and there's a lot of buzz saying that he's going to go in this range. But my guy Derrick Brown is here. The guy is a force to be reckoned with at 6'5", 326. I mean, just turn on the film, and it is fun to watch. Hell of a bull rush. Yeah, just slot him in. Day one starter for sure. And they have so many holes on defense, too. You just can't go wrong there.
I almost play like Calais Campbell role a bit in that defense, too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, Calais Campbell's going to be hard to replace for sure.
I was really debating Brown at 7, but I just wanted to, I really wanted to. I think they have so many holes, but I really had to debate between Brown and Simmons at 7. All right, so we're at number 10. I'm going Mekhi Becton here. I don't have to tell you that Mekhi Becton's big because you guys probably know it. I think he's a guy that if we saw him in person, we would probably rate higher when we see like how big he is and how he moves at that size. We mentioned earlier, I think Wills and Thomas are better technically right now than Becton. Becton, you talk about the 35.5-inch arms, 6'7", 364, the 5'1", 40. This guy is a very fluid mover at that weight, and he's my offensive tackle too, my 9th overall player right now. So I really like Becton. I think his upside's really high, and I think his floor is probably higher than some people think.
11, the Jets. I think you lose Robbie Anderson. You don't really have another receiver. Considering was always hurt. So here I go, Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. I think he's the most polished receiver in this draft. He might not have Ruggs' speed, but other than that, I think he's honestly top of the draft. There's no question. He's smooth. He's a good route runner. He can play pretty much anywhere. And Darnold needs somebody to throw to. And since all the best tackles are gone, I'm going to go with Jeudy here.
All right, at 12 with the Raiders. Since Judy's off the board, that's who I was going to take. I'm going to go Lamb. It makes the most sense considering that Mayock's super high on him. And I think they do need a true number 1 in that offense because Tyrell Williams, is going to he's going to be there somewhat of a field stretcher. And they still got Renfro. I mean, maybe you put him in the slot, but they need a big guy on the outside that can go up and get it. I know that maybe the 40 testing time is a little concerning, but no, I think he's going to be great for them.
I'm gonna go according to the board. I'm gonna go Javon Kinlaw. I know it's a strength, but I think that the Niners D line and that whole room is I think even if Derrick Brown was here, I think Kinlaw's a better fit with their wide nine front. They really let their edge rushers kind of tee off on the outside, and it gives the interior guys some space to work with. And I think Kinlaw is really raw, but I think his upside is undeniable. So I'm just going to go best player available.
That's how many first-round defensive linemen in a row for San Francisco, though.
It's a lot of them.
It's a lot. It's got to be like what? Bosa, Thomas, Armstead, Buckner. It's a good pick, though.
Yeah.
All right, Tampa Bay. Oof. This is a tough one. For Tampa Bay, I think I'm going to have to go with Josh Jones, the Houston tackle.
Okay.
I think he might not be as NFL ready as a lot of – I think he might be more NFL ready than a lot of people think. He's big. He moves well. He played really well at Houston last year. And I think Tampa right now, it's all about hedging their bets and protecting Tom Brady. You got to get a solid offensive line in front of him. He didn't have that in New England last year, and he would just throw the ball into the dirt all the time. So now he has the weapons. Now fix the offensive line, and I think he can really compete with the Saints for the division here.
Yeah, well, the board shakes out this way. I'm jumping up and down in my seat if I'm John Elway because I just got Henry Ruggs on my team.
It's pretty good for pick.
Perfect compliment to Cortland Sutton. They think Drew Lock's the guy now. I think they finally found their guy after losing Peyton. And I think he's going to be really good in this offense if this is where he ends up. I think he's going to be really good in any offense just because of everything that he brings to the table. I think he's the next Tyreek Hill, maybe more. We'll see. But, yeah, Henry Ruggs at 15.
A quietly really good offseason in Denver, too. So maybe that's the piece they're missing for a dark horse playoff year.
I like Denver. Yeah, you get Chubb back. You get that corner room upgraded.
They got Melvin Gordon too.
They could be
They
good.
lost.
Drew Lock's guy coming in year 2. Got a nice arm on him.
Yeah. Why did Drew Lock fall to round 2? That's one thing I never.
I don't know.
He just looked very raw on tape last year. He didn't look like. I mean, granted, who came out last year? Kyler, and then
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, see, like I probably personally I would have picked him ahead of Daniel Jones and Dwayne. I don't know about Dwayne Haskins.
I wasn't huge,
but
at all.
Me neither. But he can't move very well. I don't know. Locke fell pretty deep. I wasn't expecting that.
It's the season before he came out. 2 seasons before he came out, he had a really good year, 40+ touchdowns in the SEC. Maybe we do overlook some of these guys that just don't do quite as well coming out the year they're coming out. So Atlanta, I'm going CJ Henderson. They got to go defense. CJ Henderson fell to them. I'd be so happy. I think he's a better prospect than Chaisson. I think he's a phenomenal press man corner. He's an easy mover. He is
just tackling.
You might be a little worried about his overall attitude with tackling, but I'm a big believer in, front 7 guys do that job. And he wraps up well enough to where I don't think it's a problem. He's just not a guy that's going to come down and hit stick you, like Harrison Smith on Habig's team in Madden.
Oh my God!
But like CJ Henderson is physically phenomenal, and I'd be happy if I was the Falcons at 16.
So that's tough because I was looking at him at 17 for Dallas, but that he's not there. I'm gonna go with my backup player, another SEC defensive back. I'm gonna go with Xavier McKinney from Alabama.
Okay.
At this point, became a toss-up between him and Grant Delpit as far as Dallas goes. I considered some edge rushers, but I couldn't really justify it in here because I don't think this edge rusher class is as good as the defensive backs. And then between McKinney and Delpit, it was just a matter of Delpit can't tackle to save his life. And they need somebody who can tackle if they're not chasing you from behind.
So 18 with the Dolphins. I think they need some pass rush quite badly because that defense was god awful. So I'm going to go Caleb on Chaisson here. I love the leadership. it really shows on tape too. And I think it's really interesting how he can drop into coverage too, like off the edge. So I think they can really utilize him because they just have so many holes. So they can just use him in so many different ways. So I'm going to go with him at 18 for them.
He's one of the, I ended up putting him above Gross-Matos, even though I kind of liked Gross-Matos strictly from an edge position more, simply because of that reason. He is such an easy mover. I think he could play will linebacker at a pretty high level in the NFL, even if edge didn't work out or you want scheme versatility. 19, I'm going to go Herbert here. I'm going to go Justin Herbert.
Okay.
I think it's late enough. It's their second first-round pick. I think there's a lot of deal in a rookie contract for, even an okay starting quarterback, and I think he's got a higher ceiling than that. He's a guy that I think it's worth taking a chance on. I don't know if Derek Carr is exactly the guy. And I think Herbert, he didn't play with an NFL caliber receiver at Oregon, which is kind of something to think about. He had some inconsistencies in his film, but the physical traits are there. So sometimes, gambling on those guys can pan out.
You get a little push in out of Derek Carr, if anything.
Yeah, that's another thing. Maybe Carr elevates his game because he's never really been threatened since he's been there.
That's true. Does he compete with Does he compete with Mariota, or do you only do you run 3 quarterbacks on the roster?
I probably try to move Mariota, almost like an AJ McCarron deal, like try to get him out of the building for 5th to 6th, something in that way. And I keep 2 quarterbacks on the roster.
All right. So for Jacksonville at 20, I was debating a couple positions here. They went with Derrick Brown first. I think you keep building that defense. I think Jacksonville's at their best when they have a good defense. You can go with Kristian Fulton out of LSU. They lost Jalen Ramsey. They lost AJ Bouye. They need a guy who can cover and who can stick into their hip pockets in coverage. And I think Kristian Fulton does that. He did that all year. I think he had a really good game against T. Higgins national championship too. So I think in AFC South you need to be able to stick to guys like that. So I'm gonna go with Kristian Fulton.
He's a really smart player.
He is.
Really. That too.
All right, so 21. It's tempting to go Kenneth Murray here since he's here, or Patrick Queen, but I want to have some fun with this, and I want to go Justin Jefferson. I think Carson Wentz. I'm on that Wentz MVP hype train. Have been, because I think he's got the potential to do it. He just can't stay healthy. He can't stay upright, and he has no weapons around him. He's got Ertz, and that's just about it. So give him a real receiver like Justin Jefferson. Put him in the slot. Put him at wideout. Let's just really see what he can actually do.
I'm a big Wentz guy too. A lot of those guys really got hurt last year. They didn't really have a downfield threat, and defenses kind of were able to condense the field on them. But Justin Jefferson's a guy that you can play in the slot. I think you can play him out wide. He's probably better in the slot, but he's a good contested catch guy. See 4.42 speed, a little faster than people thought. I don't know if he played quite that fast on film, but he's just a really solid player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 22, I was actually going to go Justin Jefferson, so you stole my pick. But I think at 22, let me check my board. 22, I'm going AJ Terrell.
Okay.
They need corner help bad. And this guy can run with people, and he's really good underneath. He's a little bit grabby on some of his reps, but I think that can kind of be coached out of him. But you see the long speed, you see the size, 6'1", 190 plus, 4.42 speed. I think he actually plays even a little faster than that. He stays with guys step for step, and I think his ball skills will improve a little bit. So I like AJ Terrell. He's got good feet and hips too.
And they need help at corner after purging their room this offseason.
I know. They need so much help.
Patriots, this is a toughie. It's a personal one, too. So I'm tempted to go receiver, but I think it's such a deep class so you can wait on that and get a decent guy later on. So I think what I'm going to do is, since it's what I would do, I'm going to go with the fun pick. I'm going to go with Jordan Love. Because I'm looking at the Saints right behind there with Drew Brees, who
that's brutal.
Already has a radio contract next year. So we're going to go with Jordan Love. I think he's the perfect quarterback for the situation they're in right now. If he works out, great, you have your next franchise quarterback. If not, I think he's either great or terrible. If he's terrible, then we're in the sweepstakes for Trevor Lawrence next year. So I think it's the right pick here. Give a little excitement. Nobody wants to see Jared Stidham play. like all year. And I honestly, like, we might look back at this video next year and I'll be biting my tongue for it, and I hope so. But Jordan Love it is for right now.
Yeah.
You see the risk that's there, but you put him in a smart organization. I think his chances of succeeding are a bit higher. I think the Pats are one of them. So
yeah,
I
think if anybody has the chance to have that Andy Reid effect on Patrick Mahomes, I'm not saying it's Patrick Mahomes, but
yeah,
if they kind of get the best out of him, it's Belichick and McDaniels.
Yeah. Or Sean Payton.
Or Sean Payton.
We'll see.
But not now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean Payton. All right, so we got 24.
So I see both of the best linebackers on the board still. Obviously, the popular pick would probably be Patrick Queen to keep him, in the Bayou. But I'm going to go Kenneth Murray. He's higher on my board than Queen is for me. I love the speed, athleticism, and he's a leader too. Has great character, good story. All around, just great guy, great player. I think he's going to be pretty effective there in New Orleans if he ends up there. So
yeah,
I'll go Kenneth Murray right there.
All right, so we got Minnesota again at 25. Look at me. They need a receiver. We're going Jalen Reagor here. I know he's not a traditional number one, but I think he complements what Thielen does really well. You can play him out of the slot. You can do some gadget stuff with him. This guy can fly. I know he only ran 4.42, but he's a guy that clearly tried to gain some weight at the combine. I don't believe his at-home combine for a second where he ran like a 4.2. He is, he's probably like a mid 4.3 guy in terms of the juice that he has. He goes up, he high points the ball. He's really tough too. This guy's pretty freaky athlete for a receiver. So I'd be comfortable with him at 25.
26. Let me check my board here for Miami. So they went quarterback and edge. So I think from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a safety because I think that Brian Flores needs that deep guy who can play single high in his defense. Now we've got some edge. You won't have to cover as long, so that's good. But I'm still not going to go Grant Delpit. I can't get over the tackling. It bothers me so much. I'm going to go with a little more upside here. The guy so fast and can play sideline to sideline, a little bit of an Earl Thomas kind of way, and Ashtyn Davis from Cal.
Ooh, okay.
That's the first surprise.
Guy, former track.
Yeah, this might be a bit of an overdraft, but I think at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, he's going to be one of the best safeties in the class. I think he's all the physical tools. He's fast. He's physical. And he's good in coverage. He's best in zone, which is good because if he's playing single high, that's a lot of what he's going to be doing.
Yeah.
And I think
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you can also move him around too. Your defense can put him in the slot if you need to. And I think he's just a versatile defender, and that's what the Dolphins need right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's a very rangy, coverage defender. And I think he is one of the only guys, maybe him, Delpit, and, possibly Antoine Winfield are the single high guys in this class. Not many guys can do it. You need a lot of range, you need instincts, and he's got that potential.
Yep, I agree.
Definitely. All right, so got the Seahawks at 27. Oh, God. I'm going to feel bad about this later, but I'm looking at Gladney on my board. I love him. He's probably my favorite player in this draft just because he's undersized, but he doesn't even know it. I mean, he's facing guys against Texas that are 7 inches smaller than him, and the guy is, like, playing press like no other. But I got to go Yetur Gross-Matos here because I know Clowney's on his way out. So I think we need an effective way to somewhat replace him and really get to the quarterback because we got to deal with the Cardinals and the Niners next year. I'm not worried about the Rams at this point. Yeah, but we got to get after those guys. Gross-Matos is so athletic, so freaky off the line, so fast for an edge rusher. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So I got to take him here at 27.
I think it's a good pick. I think you guys need some edge, especially if Clowney does leave. And you can never have too many, good edge rushers, especially with Pete Carroll, who likes his deep edge rusher rotation. You really haven't had that since Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill.
Yeah. I mean, Yetur is like a phenomenal, he's like 6 foot, 6'5", 265. He's a big dude, but he plays phenomenally in space. There were a lot of reps on his film where he's covering jet sweeps and he's making tackles, in the backfield effortlessly. Really good on those inside counters as well. Luke, I like Yetur Gross-Matos.
Oh yeah.
There's some work to be done, but you can see it, it's in there.
A lot of potential,
A lot
for
of
sure.
potential.
And LJ Collier is not the answer, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, LJ Collier. Yeah, LJ Collier might not be the answer.
Knowing us, we're going to either trade down, which is what I hope we do, or we're going to pick some guy that is probably a day 3 guy in round 1. So, I'm hoping for the first option, but we'll see.
We will see. So the Ravens, I'm going to go Cesar Ruiz. He's my number 1 interior offensive lineman for this class. I also like Secondary. But I think Ruiz is scheme versatile. I think he can put on a little bit of weight, but he can play center or guard. And with Yonder retiring, I think he can play guard, and you could eventually move him back to center. Pretty smart player. I really like the movement skills. He gives you a little bit of everything.
All right, I think it's a smart pick. It's an underrated pick that you're going to look at, a little like the Travis Frederick pick, like, wow, all right.
Yeah.
They really did us dirty there.
Yeah, sometimes, they're not the sexy picks, but –
no, I was actually waiting. I was looking at Cesar Ruiz for New England picks. I was like, that just screams Bill Belichick pick in round 1. Pick the interior offensive lineman. But we got David Andrews coming back, so hopefully we're okay there. All right, so Tennessee was really looking for Yetur Gross-Matos here, but he's not there anymore. So we're going to go with a guy that I'm actually kind of surprised slipped this far, and I'm going to go with AJ Epinesa. I think you lose Jarrell Casey. You lose a lot of guys on your defensive line, and you need some kind of interior push. I think Epinesa can give you that. You can also move him out to 5 tech. I looked at tackle, but I didn't think there was a tackle we're justifying taking here because they lost Jack Conklin. I think they can pick one up in round 2 that should be just about the same quality. I don't think AJ Epinesa slips all the way to their next pick, so they can't pass on a very fundamentally sound pass rusher here.
All right, 30 with the Packers. Still looking at Gladney. I can't believe he's even still here. But I think corner is definitely less of a need considering that wide receiver corpse. So since he's still here, I got to go Denzel Mims. The guy's 6'3" and ran a 4.3?
6'6", 3 cone.
And he had a hell of a Senior Bowl too. So I think he'd be really good for them. Give Rodgers something to work with in his final years, and split the targets between him, Lazard, and Devontae Adams, and they might just be sitting pretty.
So we still got Jeff Gladney on the board?
We do.
Yep.
I will take Jeff Gladney off the board.
My God.
Yeah, I think as Luke said earlier, this dude doesn't know he's small. He plays like he's 6'4". Love the mindset. He's got good long speed too. I think he's pretty scheme versatile too. I think he can play man or zone. You like the athleticism, the ball skills. Only question really is size and a few other minor, quirks in his game, but nothing major. I think he's a really good player.
I would love to see him with Richard Sherman too. They both got that dog in them. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, Kansas City, last pick of the first round. So part of me wants to go receiver here and just let Patrick Mahomes keep coming back in 24 down the divisional round and just outscore everybody. But I think the smart pick here is Jalen Johnson from Utah at corner. I think they need help anywhere they can get it on defense. That's my best defensive player still available right now. Thought about Patrick Queen, was a bit too raw, not great enough in coverage as of right now to really make an impact early. The Chiefs are in win now mode. They're probably going to be as long as Patrick Mahomes is there. But Johnson's very instinctive, a little bit of that Tyrann Mathieu kind of mold of just play wherever your nose brings you and just see ball, get ball. So I'm going to go with Jalen Johnson here.
And that does it for the first round.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really love this draft stuff. So when I have people to talk about it with, I get pretty excited. So it's always a good time. Do you guys want to plug anything on the channel?
No, man, thanks for having us. It was
thank you.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Fun
dude.
time.
We're gonna have to do it again soon.
Yes, sir.